Hey everyone, welcome back. I know it's been a couple weeks. It's been hard for me to get into the rhythm of trying to remember and make videos. I don't have a camera setup that I can just like flip on and go. So I haven't been in the routine, but we are trying again this week. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna see how much I read without trying too hard while I'm working a full-time job. Today is Monday. I actually work Sunday through Thursday. I didn't record anything yesterday because I didn't read. Sunday is a long day for me, and it was Father's Day. We went out to lunch and we got home later and I didn't get to take my Sunday nap. So there was not reading in the forecast for yesterday. There was just Lego Harry Potter before bed. So we did that. This morning I went to do mat Pilates at the gym, which is something new that I'm trying. Then I've been at work the rest of the day. We've been home chilling for a little bit and now it's date night. So we're gonna go get some yummy Korean barbecue, come home, maybe hang out for a little bit, and then I will get back into reading Golden Son, which is the book that I am in the middle of right now. I'm about 40% in. So I'll see you later tonight when I do that. Super casual check-in right now, but we got back from dinner. We had to do a stop by Half Price Books because it was right next to where we had dinner, so obviously got do a little browse, and then we just put a bunch of photos from our trip to Whidbey Island in a photo album. We started a little travel album, so you'll see that. It was really fun to get to do that. And now it's time to read. I'm gonna read in bed tonight, so I'm not gonna do like the full filming setup, but I wanted to talk to you about the book before I started. I'm in the middle of Golden Son right now. I read this whole section, I'm like 40% in. I don't know if you can see that, but I read almost all of that on the train to Portland last weekend. I was gonna film in Portland, but the day kind of got away from us, and so I didn't end up filming that day. Yeah, I read a ton on the train ride from Seattle to Portland, and I'm really enjoying this book. There's a lot going on, and it's really crazy. This is a follow-up to Red Rising, if you don't know. It's continuing the story with Darrow. This is a lot more, I think this is way more the first one was really fast-paced, but this is like really getting into it. There's a lot going on and I'm enjoying it. I haven't picked it up in a few days though, so it's going to take a second for me to get back into, but I'm excited to read tonight and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right, new location unlocked. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm trying to be more casual about filming stuff. We've got a little Pedro cameo again. I showed you a little bit of my work day and I've been home from work for about an hour or so. And if I'm going to be so honest, I've just been laying on my bed on my phone. So it's officially time to get started with the rest of the night. Last night I read, I think 2 more chapters of Golden Son. So I'm going to try to do like a good amount of reading later tonight, maybe while my husband watches Andor or something like that. So yeah, no new updates on Golden Son just yet. I did include another book that I've been reading in a clip from earlier today. If you watched my previous video from a few weeks ago, I talked about how I've had like 2 nonfiction books that I've been reading kind of on like taking a long time to read on purpose. And so I ended up picking one of those up I had a little break during the workday and I sat outside. So I read that. That is called Can I Ask That by Brenna Blaine. It's a Christian book, all about really like intense suffering and struggling and how can you navigate that. So that's been really good. I've been really enjoying this. The chapter that I read today was very like timely for my life right now. So that was good. And I'll definitely talk about that book more when I finish it. So I have read probably like 30 pages today so far. But yeah, I'm going to make dinner. I think tortellini is what we're going to go with tonight. And then I will check back in with you when I start reading. All right, I am talking to you from, I was going to say the office, but it's not the office. You saw my office earlier in this video, but this is kind of the second office for my job. And we just finished up the work day. You saw a little bit of that. But while we were here, I wanted to talk about the book that I finished last night, which was, again, one of the books that I have been working on reading slowly for the past couple months. And that is Can I Say That by Brenna Blaine. The subtitle is How Unsafe Questions Lead Us to the Real God. It's really good. I gave it a 4 stars, I think, on Storygraph. I know that some people don't like to rate nonfiction. I don't feel like opposed to that or a big advocate for it. It's just I've always rated it. I normally give them higher ratings than I do fiction just in general. But like I said, I really enjoyed this. I don't agree with like 100% of everything in it, but I do think that it is a really great book. A lot of it is about like deep suffering. So when you're going through stuff like pregnancy loss or mental health issues, different things like that, you know, she's been in the psychiatric ward before. So she's dealing with very real issues, and how can you navigate a relationship and faith and God in the midst of that? So if, you know, you have some big, deep questions about faith and why do bad things happen to good people and all of that kind of stuff, this is a great book to check out for that. It's not a perfect book for me, but I did really enjoy it and I would recommend it. So now I'm a little bit closer on my goal, and that's really good. And I can now kind of focus on Golden Son completely. Again, I'm about halfway through that. I've read a few more chapters in this video, but I still have a lot to go. So maybe I'll pick that up a little bit tonight. And I did realize that this video was supposed to be a week in my life. How much can I read in a week, you know, working full time? And we have a national holiday this week. It's Juneteenth. And so I don't have work tomorrow. So this is actually a short work week, but we're going to keep vlogging anyway. And we're going to keep talking about what I'm reading anyways, while I'm working and doing all that fun stuff. So I will check in with you in a little bit. All right, we're here to recap our day because I haven't talked to you yet today. It's 5:15. He had a little freelance photography project that we had to work on today in Kirkland, Washington, which is on the east side of Seattle. If you are not from here, I'm warning you now, Pedro is right by the bottom of the tripod. Okay, he walked away. I wonder if we were going to get a little thing. Are you going to come see us? You guys be on the camera? So yeah, we've been doing that all day. That's what you've seen so far. This is turning out to be the reading vlog with no reading, which is pretty great. But yeah, I'm pretty tired. We had what did we do? We got there. Mm-hmm. We walked around at a park. Basically, we had to just get like pictures of Kirkland and the area. We got really good coffee. If you are in the Seattle area or on the east side, Five Stones Coffee is really good. And then we did just a bunch of stuff in downtown Kirkland, walk around, pictures of everything. Then we went to
Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble. We stopped at Barnes and Noble because there was one and I just wanted to peruse. So there's a little bit of that in there. But now we're probably just gonna chill we're both really tired because we went from like 1 to 5 and we were walking the whole time. I wonder how many miles we walked. Probably a couple. So maybe we'll catch up on the Ryan Trahan and Haley Pham.
And Andor. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna watch an episode of Andor?
Yes.
Okay. But the Ryan Trahan and Haley Pham, the 50 Airbnbs in 50 days or 50 states in 50 days videos, we've been watching that. If you've been watching that, comment your favorite Airbnb that they've gone to so far. Mine's definitely the Frank Lloyd Wright house. What was yours?
Star Wars.
The Outpost X.
Oh yeah.
I will read eventually at some point. And maybe I'll actually show myself reading tonight at some point.
We'll see.
We are also going to have to go to get groceries because we are...
Yeah, she'll do that.
By myself.
No.
So yeah, maybe you'll see a little bit of that. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll see a little bit of reading. Maybe you won't. I'm making no more promises about this vlog because I'm just doing what I'm doing. I didn't work as much as I thought I was going to. I haven't read as much as I thought I was going to. So it's just going to end up being what it is. And we're going to enjoy it. So yeah, talk to you later.
Bye.
Hello, it has been a couple days and I am back to give you my thoughts on Golden Son and finish up this video. I didn't read on Sunday or Monday. You saw a few clips from Saturday, but it was just too busy and I didn't get around to reading. But last night, Tuesday, I did finish Golden Son. I ended up giving this a 4.25. I gave the first book in the series, Red Rising, a 4.5. So very similar ratings. I am enjoying both of them. I have the next book, I think it's called Morning Star, on the way right now. I'm definitely going to start it soon. Red Rising is about a boy, Darrow, he's a teenager when the book starts, and he is a part of the lowest group in this dystopian sci-fi Earth setting. He's in this tier called the Reds, and it's about his rise from the bottom tier of society, the Reds, up through to kind of infiltrate and maybe hopefully one day change the structure and the caste system that has happened in this kind of post-Earth dystopian society. So the first book follows him it's in a school training trials kind of vibe in that book, which I know is a very popular trope, for lack of a better term. It's comped with the Hunger Games, and I think it's similar in the idea of sticking a bunch of teenagers in one place and them killing each other in that way, but other than that, it's really not that similar. You guys can see Pedro Farrell. So this book is a continuation of that. I don't want to talk about the plot too much because I don't want to spoil it. And there's a lot that happens in this book. This book, in terms of pacing and like what's going on in the plot, is almost brutal because it's just like so much is happening and so many people, so many characters that care about, so much stuff is happening to them. What makes this book really good? Wow. The whole candle over. Like I was saying, what makes this book so special is the characters and the cast of characters in it. But what I find interesting is that I care about the cast of characters, but I don't know that much about them. Like, we learn some new things about some key characters in this book, but there's not like this long depth. I don't know. My one critique about this book, I come from a literary fiction background. That's kind of the first genre that I really fell in love with when I got back into reading. Now, I am a nerd, so I love fantasy and sci-fi too, but a lot of my favorite books still are literary fiction. And so I love stories that are very descriptive, that have really beautiful language. It's engaging all of your senses in the way, because it's describing what everything looks like, how it sounds, what it smells like, what it tastes like. You're hitting all of those points. And so the one downfall for me with these books is it doesn't feel like I'm getting that much description about anything going on. So I'm getting those fantasy words and the sci-fi language and the terms that are specific to this book. You're getting those thrown at you a lot, but you're not getting a lot of description about the spaces around you and the people's facial expressions and like all those little details. So I still really enjoy the book. That is just probably the one aspect that keeps these books from being 5-star reads and in the 5-star realm. Now, I do think that this series could produce a 5-star for me. Maybe Morningstar is going to be that. There's also then the second story arc trilogy, and I do plan on reading that, and those are a little bit longer, so that might be in there a little bit more. But for at least Red Rising and Golden Sun, I feel like it falls into this and then this happened pattern, you know, where it's like this happened and then this happened and then this happened, and we're just kind of bouncing from thing to thing. What's good about that is that you're always engaged because something's always happening. But for me, again, I feel like I'm not getting as emotionally invested and I'm not as immersed in the story because I'm not getting, like, the world around me isn't getting described to the degree that I would like it. That being said, if you are someone that gets bogged down and bored by a lot of intricate description and you want something that's very fast paced and very like everything's about what's going on, not necessarily emotional subtlety or anything like that, this would be a great story for you because, again, you're engaged because there is so much going on. So I do recommend this. I think it's also a more beginner friendly sci-fi because it leans more dystopian than sci-fi because it gives you a lot of terms that you're not going to understand, but it doesn't expect you to understand them. It's not trying to teach you the science of what's going on. So I think that is beginner friendly in that regard. Again, I gave this a 4.25. I'm gonna read the next book soon. I do have a couple books I think I want to get to first, and then I will pick that up. I actually started The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings, so that'll be in the next little video that you see from me, and I read 2 chapters of that and it was pretty good. I'm a Jessa Hastings fan, so we'll see how I feel about this one. But I want to find a 5-star read. I'm craving a 5-star read that I am like obsessed with and emotionally invested in and just like makes me want to read again and read a ton of books afterwards. Because with trying to catch up on my reading goal, one thing is I'm reading more books regularly again, but my pace is just not as fast as it needs to be to actually catch up on my goal. So I think finding a 5-star will help me with that. So there's a little sneak peek of what is coming next. Thank you for joining me this week. It was a little sporadic. The theme of the video kind of got away from itself. Again, I was trying to document how much I read working full time, and I didn't work the whole week this week because there was a holiday and all that kind of stuff. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for supporting these videos. They've been so fun to do and put together, and I'm really grateful for all the people that have found me and have liked and subscribed and comment. And so if you want to support me, that's the best way to do it. Again, like, subscribe, comment, share the video, come looking back for more. I'm going to try to post more shorts too, so you can see all that. But I appreciate you joining me in my little corner of the internet. If there's anything you'd like to see from me soon, also let me know that because I would love to do that. I hope you have a great rest of your little time, whether it's the evening and you have a great rest of your evening, great rest of your morning, wherever you're at. I just hope you have a great rest of it. Bye.